Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris says the 1950s were awesome. Yeah, for guys who looked like Zack. So they're celebrating the problematic era with a sock hop at the max. Then he does this shit.
We'll have some burgers and a plate of fries.
Kill me now. Zack plans to torture the sock hop attendees with his vocal terrorism. Slater's kid sister JB is back after a year abroad. Zack hasn't seen her in a while. Let's keep it that way. Zack's annoyed Belding wants to use his garbage throne for its intended purpose. Then drops his jaw like a Looney Tune upon viewing a woman. Zack's detailing how he'd fail to give her an orgasm when he gets distracted.
Wow, I see a chick that's even hotter.
Slater's sister, JB. Zack, CEO of Wouldn't Know What to Do With It If I Got the Chance Industries, gives her a limp hug. Slater invites JB to wrestling practice. Zack insists on joining despite having never gone before.
I'd been a very bad friend.
Yeah, I'm sure he's about to turn that streak around. Zack uses this time to ascertain JB's single and drool. Slater wants to show JB his athletic progress. Zack says scram, then whisks her away for a romantic burger, leaving Slater in emotional and physical pain. Lisa wonders how Slater will handle Zack dating his sister. Zack hasn't wondered that once. He tells Slater he's taking JB out without checking how this might make him feel. Slater feigns a smile, but is understandably disturbed by this development. Zack invites JB to the movies. Because she doesn't know any better, she accepts. Slater, desperate to stop this disaster, invites Tori to double date. And good he did. Zack got handsy with JB in the back seat, forcing Slater to swerve erratically to prevent a grope fest. Zack resumes pawing his victim. Slater has to fake choking to keep his sister from getting violated during the Mighty Ducks. Zack vows to take JB out again, sans Slater, and drag her to the sock hop for his a cappella abomination. Slater suggests Zack will get bored of her like all the other girls, a truth Zack denies because he is a liar. Belding, fresh off a male sensitivity seminar, wants the boys to get in touch with their inner feelings while he wears a bear. Yeah, fine. Zack grabs the talking stick to say this chews nut. Slater opens up about being betrayed by a friend he trusted. It goes right over Zack's dull noggin.
Gee, Slater, who are you talking about?
You slime ball!
What he said. Zack still takes JB to make out point, but Slater is now in his head. Thank God. Preventing Zack from destroying JB's life 2 fingers at a time. Zack says he's finally concerned with Slater's feelings now that they're obstructing his roadside erection. The date is over. JB's lucky day. JB, clueless to Zack's horrific womanizing history, says Slater ruined everything with his well-placed concern. Zack's wearing his most somber jacket and treating JB like she doesn't exist. Slater apologizes for interfering. JB has to make her own mistakes, colossal as they may be, and he just has to take Zack's word that she's special. Zack kisses the girl he's been ignoring, then does this.
Dum dum dum.
He couldn't get the choreography timing down? Amateur hour. Despite Zack's assurances JB isn't like all the other girls, she most certainly is. Because we never see JB ever again. She got dumped by a tone-deaf, rhythmless skis rag and probably fucking killed herself. Let's review. Zack Morris, known sex criminal, set his lustful sights on his friend's kid sister with no regard for Slater's feelings. Then invited her to an enchanting evening of getting felt up next to her brother in a crowded theater. Then didn't let Slater's objections stop him until they blocked his blonde boner. Then said he really liked her when he really didn't. He kicked her to the curb after he got what he wanted and never spoke of her again. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash. Zack Morris is trash.
It's Marry Your Classmate week at Bayside, a thing every school does. Zack's overjoyed about his academically arranged marriage to Kelly and plotting his imminent assault. Jesse declares no woman is a man's property. Zack declares Kelly his property. Zack tells everyone in the building he knows what sex is and plans to have it with his fake school wife. Jesse doesn't want to sacrifice a career for marriage. Zack will make that sacrifice, so Kelly can work while he does Jack Diddley. Kelly asks what Zack values in a relationship. Mouth stuff.
I've died and gone to heaven.
We should all be so lucky. Belding assigns a scenario in which Kelly staggers home after a major car accident. Zack's response?
Who cares? Kiss me.
Belding requests, please don't whip it out in a classroom. So Zack explains Kelly's emotions to her, says shut up, then proceeds with Operation Whip It Out in a classroom. Belding assigns kids to the couples.
He's not my son. There must have been a mix-up at the hospital.
Zack Morris makes Woody Allen look like Father of the Year. Kelly, kindest soul, embraces her child. Zack's scorned kid is acting out, vandalizing school property over his unrequited love for Lisa. Slater steps up to be the man Zack isn't by raising his son. Slater, who is now Lisa's dad in this fully normal project, offers to help set up a date. Zack uses more class time to say he's chubbed up and then makes a move on Kelly. When his son wants attention, Zack uses physical force and violent threats. Kelly Kelly tries protecting Screech, but Zack continues his domestic abuse junior seminar.
Mom, call 911.
Don't stop there. The FBI and IRS should probably take a look at him too. Zack offers a disingenuous, "I love you," that Screech sees right through. Great news! Kelly's pregnant! Zack's revolted and turns his back on his growing family. Kelly doesn't want a man who hates his own children. She walks out on Zack. Kelly, please keep walking. Zack, who just pushed Kelly away, can't crack the case why she's leaving. Slater wants to support Jesse's career and is thrilled about having children.
Because I'm a good father.
How refreshing. Screech arrives to take Lisa to the movies, but she's not interested. Oh well, at least Slater tried. Except Screech reveals Slater only offered the date if Screech would do the community service of accelerating Zack and Kelly's inevitable split. Slater tells Belding he only did it to keep Kelly away from Ted Blondie, but while Slater has the cognizance to reflect on what he could have done differently, Zack farts out a worthless sorry. Belding gives the gang a chance to finish their totally routine project at the diner with the magic waiter who never met a health code he couldn't make disappear. Slater comes to the mature conclusion that he and Jesse have fundamental differences that would prevent a happy union. Zack backpedals on having kids to dupe Kelly. He pretends to miss their son, then slams a lid on his fucking head. He says anything he thinks Kelly wants to hear to trap her. Then once again tells the principal he's very, very horny. Let's review. Zack Morris took a class project as a blank check for his carnal fantasies, and despite repeatedly stating he only cares about his wife for sex, was wholly uninterested in what sex produces. When the child he disavowed lashed out, poor Slater picked up the slack, then got in trouble for trying to save a mother and her child from an abusive household. And while Slater learned to be honest with yourself in a relationship, Zack learned to lie his ass off. Not a new lesson for Zack Morris. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
And now, FOD TV News.
Tonight, could those earphones be causing ear cancer? Our Ricky Rickles hit the streets to find out.
Where the costume?
My dad.
Oh, big boy. Bow, 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 bow. Good boy. Great job, team.
Zack Morris is trash.
It's Best Friend Week in speech class. Sure, Slater's best friend has always been there for him, so not Zack. He's talking about his chameleon Artie. Hope nothing bad happens to that guy. Zack's disgusted by Slater's gentle bond developed over many years. Slater wants to share Artie's love. Zack says no thanks and makes an unwanted lecherous move on Kelly. Slater's been best buds with Artie since they found each other when his dad was stationed overseas. Zack tells Slater to go bang his foreign reptile. Slater trusts Screech to watch Artie while he's gone this weekend. He knows Screech has many pets he cares for. Zack can't imagine caring for anyone but himself. Kelly, angel among us, needs help with her speech, but Jesse's busy with a protest. Zack sees a window to offer slimy assistance.
Because I'm a generous, caring individual.
Who's hornier than a rhinoceros brass band? Zack practice fondles a Kelly cutout before the real Kelly arrives like a fucking serial killer. Screech needs Zack's help watching Artie. All his other pets want to eat him. Zack says yeah, whatever, and gets Screech out of there to pressure Kelly into a Thursday tugdown. Kelly's delighted to see Artie, but Zack says just throw him over there. Then, instead of helping with her speech, surprise, he makes aggressive sexual advances that are thankfully thwarted by Jesse. Her protest was called off. She can help Kelly now, first by helping her leave. Zack says Artie's sure been sleeping a lot. He doesn't look like he's sleeping. Zack, with the emotional IQ of a Snickers bar, doesn't get it. Screech explains. Artie's dead. Zack says no way. Maybe Artie's just bored because school sucks. The gang has an emotional reaction to this sad news. Zack does not. He's a sociopath. They each wonder if they're responsible. Jesse left a drafty window open. Kelly left Artie under a lamp. Worst of all, Screech left Artie with Zack. Zack denies any culpability for the death he supervised. Screech says Artie probably died of old age and incurable blonde complications. But instead of telling Slater what happened, Zack chucks Artie's carcass, then says Artie's napping at his place. He'll grab him at lunch. Screech almost lets the truth slip. Zack strangles him. Zack purchases a replacement Artie to trick Slater. Only the girls, confident Zack would lie, but less confident he'd do anything beyond that. Also got a substitute chameleon. They've been hanging with Zack too long. Slater realizes something's fishy with these dual identical color-changing creatures. Zack continues his cover-up, saying Artie's lost at his house. Yeah, lost to Jesus. Zack wonders if Slater will blame him for the thing he did and is still doing. Slater strolls in, unknowingly calling out to his dead friend. Heart-wrenching. But Zack's unable to come clean until he has to when the gang walks in holding a decaying Artie. Slater tries to play it cool, but he's crushed. Slater's spiraling and acting out in class, getting sent to Belding's office. Belding heard Slater was being a real shithead in class. That doesn't sound like Slater. Sounds like Zack Morris. Zack interrupts to ask if Slater's ready to apologize for making him feel bad about letting his best friend die and then covering it up. Belding has a real talk with Slater about life and death. It's never fair who stays and who goes. If it was, Zack would have been out the door a long time ago. He hugs Slater and the healing begins. But Zack, who basically pulled the trigger on the art man, makes Artie's memorial service all about himself. He delivers some hollow opening remarks. Then, after everyone else speaks from their heart, Zack says it's time to go flush Artie down the toilet. Let's review. Zack Morris mocked Slater's beautiful friendship with Artie. When Screech came to him in a desperate move to keep Artie alive, Zack tossed him aside to lure Kelly into his latest handjob ambush, and couldn't look after Artie close enough to see he died. Then lied to Slater over and over to cover up the death. So when he got the news dropped on him, he couldn't grieve, just self-destruct, leaving Belding to pick up the pieces. Also, Zack could bury Artie where the jocks have diarrhea. And Artie did not die of old age. He got locked in a room with Zack Morris for 2 days and probably fucking killed himself. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash. Zack Morris is trash.
Mr. Belding's preparing to assist his wife delivering their first child, due on the 15th. Zack says, get the fuck out of here with that baby crap. Then opens his one-game locker casino, taking bets on that baby's birthday, complete with fleecing the nerds.
I prefer calling it overcharging the less cool.
Zack reserves the 15th and all surrounding days.
It is my pool, and I'll cheat if I want to.
He wants to. There's a physics midterm today, but Zack didn't study as he was tied up running Caesarian's palace. Zack tries to weasel out, but teacher isn't buying it. Lucky for Zack, there's an earthquake drill. He uses the chaos to try and swing a sub-desk threesome. The midterm is tomorrow. Tori, who just moved to California, is freaking out about earthquakes. Zack suggests renting a disaster movie that will make her shit her leathers. Zack continues goofing on Tori's fear, then says no need to stress about unpredictable disasters. The real danger is that test he's known about for months. Mr. and Mrs. Belding stop in for Mrs. B's cravings. Lisa makes polite chit-chat about baby showers, which gives Zack a great idea. He's been planning a baby shower for her tomorrow during 7th period. Glad he finally told her about it. Zack presses Mr. Belding to excuse them from 7th period to regale his pregnant wife with gifts, knowing full well he basically has to say yes. Mrs. B feels the baby. False alarm. This greasy nonsense just upset her stomach. It's a miracle these kids are all still breathing. The sham shower is fine. Slater gave Mrs. Belding a jersey. Tori got Mr. Belding a hat. She was her sister's birth coach last year. Zack got her nothing. Jesus Christ. Then when he hears the bell signaling the test is over, abruptly ends things. Belding says they'll have a makeup exam Monday. Zack apparently thought this shower would get him out of the test forever. Fucking moron. Belding's taking the gifts to his car after stopping in his office. Zack offers to take Mrs. Belding to the garage in the faculty elevator. Just to gloat, he has his own set of keys to disrespect Belding in front of his wife and unborn child. But that's not all. This was also a chance to further rig his pool.
I'd really appreciate it if you could have the baby around the 15th.
Oh no, it's an earthquake! Everyone knows what to do. Avoid falling lockers, find a doorway, yell at 2 women to chill out. The shaking stops. The elevator's stuck. Mrs. Belding is having the goddamn baby in this cold, dark place that in no way resembles a hospital. Zack objects.
Today's not my day in the baby pool.
Mr. Belding is terrified his wife is stuck with blonde Charles Manson while he's locked in his office. Slater, a hero, kicks that shit down. Yeah. Belding checks on his students first. He's a good man. Zack is not. Because while Tori's losing it, since he played up her fears, Zack's screaming at her to relax. The least relaxing thing a person can do. Then orders her to handle this elevator baby that's fully his doing. All Tori asks is for Zack to give Mrs. Belding something to focus on. Zack uses this time to announce he carries many photos of the women he's disappointed sexually, then fails to hold even one right side up. When Belding arrives, Zack wastes precious seconds taking his sweet-ass time getting to the point.
Did I mention Mrs. B's having her baby?
Belding coaches her through the door, and she actually has this kid, thank God, with no complications. And we never see Mrs. Belding ever again. After this traumatic nightmare, she probably fucking killed herself. Let's review. Zack Morris ran a fixed book betting on an unborn baby, preventing him from studying, which he still didn't do when he got an extra day. So he pulled a baby shower out of his ass that dragged a pregnant woman seconds away from birth across town and proceeded to give her nothing. Then, because Zack had to dunk on Belding and cheat some more, sentenced that baby baby to a dangerous elevator berth where he could have suffered any number of horrific complications. Because Bayside's most threatening natural disaster is not an earthquake. It's Zack fucking Morris. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
Here. Ow, 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 cut. Ah. There's more Funny or Die TV next. Dang it. How do I not have a sink?
Zack Morris is trash.
It's the annual Miss Bayside beauty pageant, Zack's cue to unsuccessfully start a swimsuit chant. The winner will compete for the totally real title of Miss High School California. Jesse accurately labels this a sexist waste of time, exactly why Zack loves it. Kelly was going to enter, but Jesse persuaded her otherwise. Zack doesn't miss a chance to call women dogs.
Some beauty pageant. Woof woof.
Lisa's still competing. She's always wanted to be Miss High School California. Zack offers to help her win with his unsettling serial killer level knowledge of teen pageants. Lisa declines. He vows to make her regret that sound decision. Zack, a gambling addict, bets Slater $50 he can make anyone beat Lisa. Slater picks Screech. Instead of backing down from his uncalculated proposition, Zack tells Screech he's going to be Miss Bayside because the rules don't say he can't, something that's never stopped Zack before. Screech doesn't want to enter, so Zack manipulates him with lies he's a shoo-in and a gender pioneer, when this is only about cash and vengeance. Zack callously tells Lisa that Screech will destroy her, then barges into Belding's office to enter Screech. When Belding explains this contest is for women, Jesse articulates all the points Zack could not, it's discrimination. Belding sees the error of his judgment. Zero thanks to Zack. Now Lisa's upset her dream is being challenged, and Jesse feels the need to enter to support Screech's bravery, which pushes Kelly to enter as she respects Jesse and follows her lead. Zack only cares about his $50, and doesn't mind that he pitted best friends against each other, seething with needless animosity. Talent rehearsals are fine. Whatever. Screech does an impressive magic show. Slater enters too, because all his friends are in this thing. It's not like he's gonna go eat fries by himself with that creep waiter at the Max. Screech is devastated he's up against all his pals. Zack set him up to fail for selfish gain, as he does every day. While Zack does nothing to cheer him up, Screech's robot Kevin inspires him, but accidentally gives him a shiner in the process. This gives Zack a great idea. Zack spreads the word Slater committed a hate crime.
Slater gave Screech a black eye?
Then confirms the rapidly escalating rumors that Screech is recovering in intensive care. At the pageant, Slater comes out to crickets as everyone believes he hospitalized Bayside's first non-binary trailblazer, much to Zack's delight. Screech gets a standing ovation predicated on blonde lies. Screech uses his newfound platform of adoration to be selfless, a foreign concept to Zack, and says he won't win state, even if he wins today. He pleads not to vote for him for the good of Bayside. Zack loudly questions his sanity.
Don't listen to him. He's still on medication.
Screech wins, but not because he is talented and kind and deserving, but because of Zack's libelous fuckery. Slater, an honorable sport, tries to pay up, but Zack, who suddenly has morals, can't take it because of his frame job. So everything was pointless. Let's review. Zack Morris, to seek revenge on Lisa for refusing his shady assistance, forced Screech to compete in a women's pageant to win $50, but still needed Jesse just to get him entered. After stoking bitter division among friends, framed Slater for a hate crime to turn an entire school against him. Then, when Screech tried to do the right thing, branded him mentally ill. All for $50 he didn't even take after crushing Lisa's dream for free. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
You're watching Funny or Die TV.
Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is covering wrestling tryouts live on Bayside Radio, except he wasn't on the air because he doesn't know his gear. Naturally, he assaults his producer. Christy asks for directions to tryouts.
But you're a girl.
Nothing gets past Detective Shithead. Despite Zack's belittling, Christy lines up, only to get mocked by Coach. Zack steps in to be her hero. He brings her to the radio station and says the school can't get away with the exact thing he was just doing. Zack tells Christy he's got it handled by making Jesse handle it. She takes to the air, exposing Bayside's sexual discrimination, and launches a full protest.
How can I thank you for all of this?
Hey, I'll think of something interesting.
That something rhymes with handjob, but Zack's not just here to get cranked off. This was a shameless ratings grab to liven up his dull program by whipping students into a class-missing frenzy. Coach gives Christy a shot.
What do you want, honey?
110 pounds.
Folks, we have just witnessed history. This is the first girl Bayside to admit her weight.
Profound coverage of this historic moment. Christy nails it and joins the team just in time for the meet against Valley. She thanks Zack, who was laughing in her face just moments ago. Zack takes credit for her talent and Jesse's community activism.
I wouldn't be on the team without you.
Well, thanks.
Then leaves to do his show. A show broadcast live from the girls' locker room to interview Christy and glimpse some toweled nipples. She says leave, but this segment is too urgent.
What kind of guy does Christy Barnes like? Perhaps the kind of guy who would sneak into a girl's locker room?
Every girl's dream. Zack wants to continue this interview in the shower and destroy school property. Then, like any professional interviewer, asks her on a date. She says yes to get him out of there. Belding heard the interview and enters to eject Zack, but by closing his eyes to respect the students, winds up terrifying one as Zack escapes. Zack offers Christy his signature post-date flattery.
Wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer beautiful?
Oh, compared to you, she was a bow wow. You look so great tonight. So much like a girl.
A Valley wrestler interrupts. Zack tells him he doesn't want trouble, then insults him and escalates things physically, putting Christy in the awkward position to save his flailing ass. Zack does not say thanks and is visibly upset. Zack cancels his next plans with Christy to study. An obvious lie. She tries to reschedule and he dumps her with no explanation. She sees right through his nonsense. Thanks to Zack, she's quitting wrestling. But while Zack just wants to sit around moping, Jesse says they need to talk sense into her. Zack insists that's a man's job. He invades the girls' locker room for the second time this week and admits he was embarrassed Christy wouldn't let him get his shit slapped around with a tray of cheeseburgers. Zack tells her not to quit just because he's an insecure moron. He begs forgiveness. For some reason, she grants it. Christy's in the final match, and although she proved to Zack she can handle herself, he loudly interjects to use that hold from the max. Think she knows about it, Zack. She taught it to you. Zack lays claim to Christy and announces she's his new bodyguard and girlfriend, and we never see her again. She probably fucking killed herself. Let's review. Zack Morris laughed at Christy wrestling, then stepped in to be her hero just to make women do all the heroics, to get content for his high school radio show that he felt gave him access to the girls' locker room. When Christy gave in to his pressures for a date, he ran his mouth into a whoopin', then couldn't even say thanks when she was a real hero, then dumped her for rescuing him, and learned nothing, because he still believed she needed him to save the day when he couldn't even save himself. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.